I don't think that was
I was trying something new. You didn't like it.
I think we can make some tweaks.
I'll get back in the lab. Hello, everyone.
Hi everybody. What have you been up to, Dani?
Oh God, what have I not been up to? Uh, you go first.
Um, I don't have anything. I don't have anything positive to add. You want to know what? I can. I've been in a really, really funky mood lately.
Fair.
Like, yeah, to the point to where I almost didn't even watch Dynamite tonight. I've just been so.
I get
And
it.
it's AEW specifically. It's like not they didn't like cause all the problems in my life or anything, but
Yes, they did. Tony Khan, you are to blame. I was diagnosed with BPD because of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. You can tell them that.
I think there's been like I just feel like in wrestling, and part of it came up tonight, right? I'm so annoyed with AEW because I think that right now they are on an incredible stretch of TV, and like everything is really good and it's really fun, and we're having so much fun, and it feels awesome, and it feels like you have so much momentum, and then we get the pay-per-view and everything just falls to hell. And it's just like, is this the same show? And then you'll have somebody gaslight you and be like, they never teased that. They never suggested that. What are you talking about? Shut up and enjoy things. Da-na-na-na. And I think like it's even more evident now. And it's in like, I think for me personally, I feel like it's affecting how I enjoy the product because it's like this was awesome, and it's going to be all undone in like next week or at the paper.
I typically feel that way watching AEW. Tonight I didn't. And maybe it was because tonight, like, the Death Riders were there, but they were not a focal point of the show. And so tonight I had a little bit of cognitive dissonance where I was like, it
But
was
that's the
independent
thing.
of that. But I think I completely understand where you're coming from because I usually watch AEW and I'm like, this is fun. They're gonna fuck it up. That's what they always do. They give you exactly what you want, and then it's just a little bit off and enough to it's not what you asked for, and you would send the order back.
I feel like
But
that's
no,
exactly what
tonight
happened.
I had a lot of fun tonight. I will give them that.
See, here's the thing. I think that's part of like why it feels so chaotic to me. Not chaotic, but I think that's why it's gotten to me so much is because they do it on purpose. Like the Death Riders, they hide them, they keep them in minimal amounts on TV on purpose. It feels like they know that people aren't into it. So like they keep it very limited. So you can when you're watching TV week to week, you can forget that they're there. You truly can. You can really just go on your business. You can forget like the Death Rider stuff isn't happening and that you can
But
pretend
I
that
don't feel like they've been doing that until tonight. I feel like until Samoa Joe got involved, they were shoving the Death Riders down our throats week in, week out.
I
And
see.
I feel like that has lessened. I do.
I disagree. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get like they were doing Death Rider segments, but there was a time, and if you don't listen to their podcast, I recommend it, Trish and Sarah podcast. But they were talking about how if you looked at like the Death Rider segments when they noticed that they were like at the beginning of the year, they noticed that they were like tanking the quarter hours. They stopped using them so much, and then when they do it, they piggyback it off of something that's already going like super well,
Mm.
and they've minimized how much time that they get on screen. If anybody remembers earlier this year, the Death Riders were getting like 3-4 segments a night, doing the
Yeah.
same thing over and over and over again. Now, even though they might be featured prominently, they're not scattered throughout the show like they once were because they realized like that was a terrible way to like keep people involved.
But maybe I'm naive for being hopeful that that is a sign of things to come. Because if I don't know, if you recognize that there's an issue and that people don't want to see that shit, then I'm hopeful that you take the next step and stop doing it.
Well, that would require All Elite Wrestling to never mind.
No, here with the class. I know what you want to say, but
yes, Chloe. That's why people crash out at the end of the pay-per-view. They keep it so minimal on a week-to-week to try to distract you, and then on pay-per-view night, suddenly you are reminded this is technically the top title in the company, and they are going to
you're flooded with it, and you paid $50 for it.
And that's the last thing you see before.
That's what fucking gets me.
That's the last thing you see before you go to
sit up there and you start doing the math for how many hours you had to be clocked in to pay for this shit. And here comes fucking Wheeler Yuto, his beard he don't shave out of fucking nowhere.
Do y'all realize that we have not had a pay-per-view main event over 3.75 for like the last 4 pay-per-views?
And AEW, we used to be kings.
We used to be.
Do not try to tell me that we got to live like this. And you know what? That's what gets me. That's what gets me. Nights like tonight, where you see how good we are eating, top to bottom, everywhere else. Do not try to convince me we got to live like this. I know there's better. We don't watch 10 niggas on the card tonight that I was like, matter of fact, just land.
Bro, I think that's why I'm getting. I think that's why it's so frustrating. And typically, and for y'all who have watched this show for a long time, I'm typically the optimist out of the bunch. Like, I'm typically like, I feel like my spirit is broken of just, I'm just like, it's so over. And you know what really killed me? The thing that really like broke me in half was like Hangman doing media again. I said, bro, they about to build him up again just to send him right back down the card.
Nope. Not on my fucking watch. That's what's different this time around. I'm gonna handle my goddamn self.
Hey, I need you to save us. You're the only person I trust at this point.
Everybody gonna have to meet me outside. We taking care of this shit.
Help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You're my only hope. Hangman Adam Page, you are leaving with that goddamn title. I don't give half.
Well, I'm not even saying this like just to be just a fit. Bro, Hangman is literally perfect at everything. We can't keep doing this, bro. I can't justify this, man. I can't justify this. What are we doing?
And right now feels like the peak of it, because we've been saying this about Hangman, me to a lesser extent, but we've been saying this about Hangman for years now. It should be Hangman right now. It should be Hangman right now. Right now, AEW, your world title scene is at a fucking low. You know who could bring that? If you dumb fucks, if you fucking idiots keep this lyric, I want to say, I know we'll talk about the main event. I just want to say a quick caveat. Will Ospreay, one of the best wrestlers in the world. He truly, truly is. I'm a fan. I don't know if you guys have heard. I'm familiar with his work. One of the best wrestlers in the world. Hangman Adam Page has suffered more than Jesus Christ.
Yes.
If Will Ospreay, one of the best wrestlers on the fucking planet, and Hangman Adam Page, also one of the best wrestlers on the planet, who's been putting in time, and it has been you for so fucking long. If we have these two bitches give us the instant classic that I'm sure they will give us, just to fucking lose to Jon Moxley and his goddamn Dora troll riddles, you will see a crash out hitherto the likes of which have never been seen before.
Eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard.
You are going to have to put me back in a facility. And I do mean back.
Real. It's just at this point, this is where I'm at. And I think it's a larger conversation. This also affects the women's division as well. As it relates to the women's world title scene. I think that is very clear, and I think AEW diehard fans need to at least be honest with the fact of just, I don't think that AEW values their homegrown stars the way that they do people who came from WWE, or like I genuinely don't. I think Ospreay is kind of an exception, but even so, if Ospreay wins the Owen, he's going to lose at All In. Like he's going to lose. Like that's the thing. At the same, like at this point,
we all have to kill ourselves.
It's become one of those things to where it's hard to get excited about anything. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, AEW is doing great TV right now. AEW is doing like really good, like these international shows, like Forbidden Door looks like it's going to be really cool. They're going to the O2. This Grand Slam Mexico announcement is insane. Like this arena,
I wish
Mexico,
I wasn't poor.
Bro, I swear,
so
like
bad.
This is like, it sounds insane. Like, but also when we get down to the matter, it just feels like really pointless investing in any of their homegrown stars because they're going to make them lay down for everybody every time. Same thing as it relates to like Stat. Like I feel like when it came to Stat not, making it to the final of the Owen, that is part of the reason why I'm be honest. I think it's a really good chance that Mercedes wins because it just seems like they don't trust the stars that they created, and at this point, we're 6 years in at this point. It's 6 years in at this point, and I know everybody's like, oh yeah, build character, y'all. Willow and Stat not seeing that title no time soon. Like no time soon.
Yes, they are.
Like
I'm leaving with it up my ass. And we're taking it, brother.
We need to get you on them people payroll. Hangman's not seeing that title again anytime soon. Swerve may not see that title again anytime soon, to be quite honest. Ospreay's definitely not seeing it. And it's just at this point, it genuinely feels like if you do not. Like they just treat their stars differently. Like they don't value their homegrowns. It doesn't feel.
I don't know if I would have to think about it more before I agreed with that point wholeheartedly. I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I just don't know if. To me, the Hangman situation is like uniquely pathetic. Status. I love him bad. Like that is my cowboy. And we have been through the ups and then the down. We ain't been back up since. For years. I think that the women's division, I guess I process it a little bit differently. I don't think of it as when I see the way that Mercedes is booked, I also look at this tournament and I'm like, all signs are pointing to that she's winning to me. But my first thought was, wow, they really value this individual performer, this individual wrestler. They really value Mercedes more than anybody else has. I think on the men's side, I am definitely ready to say that they prioritize and give preferential treatment to people that have worked other places. The women's side, I don't know if I'm ready to say that just overall generally. But I see where you're coming from. And maybe it's just because as a Mercedes girl, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, hell yeah, she should win everything twice.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I feel like it's being, how do I say this? I feel like it's being misinterpreted as not being a Mercedes girl. I would die for her. Like I would literally lay in traffic. I would lay in traffic for Mercedes. But I do think that a lot of people have like their stand caps on. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people, they only care about AEW because of Mercedes anyway. And they don't care otherwise. But as somebody who has been watching this women's division, like literally since the beginning, I actually do care about this whole division. I think like I've said this numerous times. The division is already at least a year and a half behind because of Toni versus Mariah. Like everybody is already at least 18 months, and honestly, we're more so about like 22 months at this point. Like the 20 to 22 months at this point. So almost 2 years removed from Toni and Mariah. Of Toni and Mariah just dominating like that world title picture. Nobody gets in, nobody gets out. You put that belt on Mercedes next, she's going to hold it for a very long time, as she should. Plus, you still have the TBS title locked up. It's going to be a great short-term visual of with her with all the gold. It's going to be amazing. Like, it's going to be amazing. But in the long term,
I don't disagree with you.
Like, and I'm gonna be honest too, of just if you run Mercedes versus Toni now, you almost ensure that no other woman will ever get to their level. Like, of just, I don't think the goal is to have two mega stars on the roster. The goal should be use them to build more. And I think of just we're getting it to the point to where now you brought Megan Bain in, she lost. What is she finna do it All In? You got Mina coming in. We haven't seen her yet. What is she finna do it All In? Willow saved the men's to win world title picture. What is she finna do? Chris Statlander, the most consistent person, the most dependable person on the roster. What is she finna do? Like, you got, and then you have the people who we still haven't slotted in yet. The Queen Aminadas, the Sky Blues, who still got to return. Like, at this point, everybody on the roster, and then and I would say the biggest one, Athena, because honestly, that means you literally brought Athena back just to have her lose, and she's not even gonna get a singles match in her hometown.
I think that she will. But
who would she wrestle?
This is my thing, though. I think in both world title scenes, AEW has often and now written themselves into a corner. And I think right now you have people that are cognizant of the issue. And so what I think we're going to get is a whole lot of bullshit that don't make no fucking sense. I think that those people are not all. I think that AEW is going to try to find a way to get all of those individuals on the card, not in a way that's representative of their talent and not in a way that makes sense and is, reflective of a build that makes any sense, which also does not help to elevate you to the next level, and then you're stuck in this constant loop of feuds and things that are subpar because they haven't been given enough attention. So I totally agree with you. Actually, I think
that I don't y'all, like, I just don't think it's worth it. Like, I get it, and especially too, Mercedes versus Toni is not gonna main event. And so if this is supposedly the biggest match the women's division can run, what does the women's division actually gain from this match happening in July? Because I'm going to be real. I think that that's still a stretch. We thought that they were going to get a whole bunch of women on the card last year or the year before. They couldn't even schedule a battle royal or a pre-show match, for real. Like, let's just be real. This is the same company that only on a good month, on a good pay-per-view, you get 2 women's matches. On a good pay-per-view, you get the world and TBS titles defended. So let alone on a pay-per-view when the TBS champion is challenging the world champion. Like, I think
that's why I think they're gonna throw some bullshit together. But it's still not. I agree with you. It's still not what it needs to be.
Not, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anybody comes out of that looking great. And the last thing you need
maybe for a second, but
I feel like Mercedes just won over, it feels like, most of the audience. And
people are gonna hate her.
Yes. And I think it's gonna be, and don't get me wrong, it's gonna be the usual crowd that hates her, but it's also gonna be some people who genuinely she won over, but it's gonna feel like, well, what happened to the rest of the division? And the same thing kind of like has happened with Toni in the same sense of, and you got to think they tied her up in the storyline and literally gift wrapped her opponent to WWE. Yeah. Because that's also a real factor now too.
You know what, Chloe, I think that's a great point. I think I do think it also devalues the TBS title.
Correct.
Because what the hell? I've said this in every time the AEW does it. They love to do this sometimes. Have whatever champion challenge another champion for one belt. And it's like, okay, now you look stupid. Because they used to do it with the TNT title all the fucking time.
They did it
TNT,
last year at Forbidden Door.
yeah. Champion challenges for the world title. Why would you do that? Why are you not happy with the title that you currently have? And for Mercedes, you could get around it a little bit more because she's doing like the whole belt collector thing. So but I think long term, yeah, the point remains. It just becomes another thing that's tied up in her year-long world title reign if it happens. Because that's the thing. Like realistically, if she becomes the world champion and has all of those belts, she's gonna hold them for a little bit because she's gonna look, you want her to look as strong as possible, and then you have to go about dropping each of those belts.
Correct.
And that is going to be a long time coming. And the TBS title, which is an AEW title, I think will be the last of those that gets dropped before the world title.
And imagine like, and it's like, which one does she drop first? Like,
exactly.
And it's just, it's a double-edged sword, because if you lose the TBS championship first, it's like, oh, how are you world champion and you dropped the mid-card title?
You dropped the TBS title.
Or if you drop the world title first, how you can keep the mid-card title and you can't hold on to the world? Like, absolutely, Jalen, they absolutely overestimated how much people would care about Jamie Toni lore. Like, here's the thing. I really like Jamie Hayter. I really do. And I loved her like with her first run. But she has not been established as a big enough threat to where, like, y'all, she got no pop tonight. Let's just be real. She got no pop tonight when she went out there. It doesn't.
This crowd was weird, though. I didn't like them.
The crowd was weird, but they still popped for who they need to pop for. They was loud for who they need to be loud for.
I wasn't hearing enough commotion for the
Well, I'm just saying,
boy. But
they
yes,
were loud for Toni and they were loud for Mercedes, whether it was cheers or boos. And I will say, and I'm gonna be real, going back to last week. How do I say this? That didn't feel like a semifinal match.
No, it didn't.
It didn't. And I'm gonna be honest. And I'm not saying that Jamie is bad or anything, but I know it wasn't Chris Stat.
I mean, I agree with the Jamie Hayter take. I really like her, and I really, really enjoy watching her wrestle. I really do. She's one of my favorite people when the bell rings to watch. Her beating Mercedes is undefeated. That's the thing you got to keep in mind too, right? Like it wouldn't just be Mercedes losing, and like whatever she's upset about. This is her first AEW loss. It would be a really big deal. And Jamie Hayter has not been presented in the past couple weeks, months as the big deal.
No.
It would have made more sense if Mercedes was going to lose. It would have made more sense for her to lose to Athena, who has been presented, albeit in Ring of Honor, as the biggest deal in the world. And I just guess like the equivalent, like Jamie Hayter has not been given the equivalent of that treatment, and it doesn't add up.
I think also too. I think it would have also made perfect sense for her to lose to Chris Statlander.
Yes.
And I think the story was there. And I guess maybe the goal is for Jamie Hayter to like look weak so they can blitz Mercedes through, but you don't have to do that. She's the best in the world, right? Like I feel like whether she wins or not, you should want her to be as convincing of a threat, because at the end of the day, these matches are what's selling Double or Nothing. Like you still have a pay-per-view to sell between now and All In, and that's Double or Nothing. These semifinals are selling that match. I don't feel anything, be honest, towards Mercedes versus Hayter. 2 years ago? If y'all told me this match,
I do. I'm not ready to say that because I think that the match will be really good, but I think that's me giving Jamie Hayter, like, I don't want to say like the benefit of the doubt, which I think she's earned that. I do think that when the bell rings, that will be a good match. So it's not something that I would have looked up and down the roster and put that together myself. No. But at the end of the day, do I think that the match will be good? Yes. I think that Jamie Hayter will rise to the occasion in the way that we have seen her do in the past. I don't think that means that it is the right decision for it to be happening.
Yeah, I see, and I think that's also too, like, that's where my frustration is come, because I feel like if we are in a position where we are already given the benefit of the doubt and making qualifiers for the women's final match, it's a problem. It probably shouldn't have been. That's probably the wrong match.
I agree.
It like of just everybody is like, oh yeah, it's going to be a good match. But I'm gonna be real. Do I expect greatness? I don't know. Like legit greatness that we would have gotten out of like the other potential final match. No, I'm gonna be honest. If Mercedes and Stat went for the third time, I knew for a fact that was gonna be match of the year. Like just we already know how they get down. Especially if Chris Stat was gonna like be in like the Owen final, 100%. And I think same thing like last. And I saw what type of time y'all was on last week. I saw what type of time a lot of y'all was on last week when we was talking about that semifinal match. People was like, oh, it was so great and awesome. No, it wasn't. It was neither woman's best match. That didn't feel like a semifinal. We've seen tonight was a semifinal. And I think like, I don't know. It's one of those things too of just, I genuinely worry for everybody else in that division when it comes to the All-In card, because it feels very evident that AEW doesn't have a plan for any other woman and they don't want to. And yeah, and like maybe they do create women's tag belts. Maybe I am just blowing smoke up everybody's ass and maybe everything is okay.
But it's not okay. No. We don't.
Yeah. But there's also there's a very real chance that they gonna throw everybody in a battle royal, and that's gonna be that. And I just don't think it's fair. Like I just don't. It's not fair. Like, and it's not fair. And I think it's also, I just feel like you so disincentivized as a fan to even believe in. Like, why root for your faves at this point? Like, bro, they're not. Nothing's good is going to happen. Like nothing good is going to happen.
I don't disagree with you. I guess for once in my life, I'm being a little bit optimistic because I'm like, there is a part of me not that believes, but there is still part of me that hopes, and that is just a nature of like, I picked, not to be biased, but I picked the best wrestlers to be my favorites. And they can always convince you that there is a chance. So, but I mean, I think that this frustration is particular to the women's division, yes. But it's not like the men's division is doing much better.
I agree. No, I'm fucked up on both. I'm fucked up.
My bigger point being that this is a company-wide issue.
Correct.
You write yourself into holes, and then you realize people aren't fucking with this. And you make note of that because you change things, but ever so slightly. But you don't abandon the original plan A. God damn. It takes 2 months at least.
I don't think, I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, King of the North said I didn't think Jamie Hayter getting a push would cause this kind of reaction. The reaction is that she's getting no reaction. That's all I'm saying. If you were not watching AEW before 2023, Double or Nothing 2023, you have no idea that Jamie Hayter was a real top girl, like the top girl in the division, and that's not all her fault. And I think a lot of it is due to booking and due to the visa issues, and that couldn't be helped. And that, like I said, it's not her fault. But now it's May. July is around the corner. We're trying to get to a stadium show, and she's in the finals. And you got to think, to get the job done, she now has to beat the two biggest stars in the division. She's not at that level right now.
My issue isn't that it is Jamie Hayter, because I like Jamie Hayter. My issue is that it is not Statlander.
Correct.
That's my issue. So it's not an anti-Jamie agenda for me personally. It's not any of that. I like Jamie Hayter. I would love to see her challenge for the TBS title, which I would love to see defended at a pay-per-view. The issue is, like we said, it creates this sort of bottleneck effect throughout the women's division. Like, okay, I don't believe that Jamie Hayter's going to beat Mercedes. And if Jamie Hayter's not going to beat Mercedes, then I don't think Mercedes is going to lose to Toni Storm. And so to me, it takes a little bit of that believability out, because I'm like, it just doesn't, it wouldn't make any sense for it to be Jamie Hayter that takes out these top two women at the moment. And that, like I said, it is not a slight to her. And if it was, I would tell you point blank period, because there's plenty of these niggas up and down the roster that I'm like, I don't fuck with. I like Jamie Hayter. My issue is not that it's her, it's that it's not Statlander. When that choice was right there, it made more sense, and it creates more opportunities for the division top to bottom.
And I also feel like it doesn't feel like AEW has done enough to make me believe it should be her. Like, I think tonight I wanted to be convinced why it had to be Jamie Hayter. Like, I feel like I really wanted to be convinced. And I didn't feel that way. And I want to feel that way because I want her to win. I don't think Mercedes should win the Owen. Like, I genuinely don't. And so I want her to win, but at least try to make it believable. And I don't feel like they're really trying to make it believable.
Mercedes' first loss in AEW, like
especially losing clean, and because at the end of the day, I truly do. I think Mercedes winning the Owen would be bad for several reasons. But y'all, the biggest on the list is Athena. Like, I'm sorry, it is. I think that would be. You kept her in Ring of Honor for so long. You kept her off TV for so long. You brought her back. You made a big stink out of it. She lost. And I feel like the only thing that makes that worth something is if she gets her lick back in her hometown. If all in happens and she's not in that singles match with a major win, like.
But to that point, yeah, and parallel that with Jamie Hayter. Athena has been Ring of Honor World Champion for 1,000,000 days and 1,000,000 hours, and she came up for the Owen and lost. Jamie Hayter has been, to no fault of her own, off TV for long periods of time. She's returned and had feuds that have not been particularly memorable and matches that have been beneath the level that we've seen her perform so far. So you're going to have Athena, who is, in my opinion, the best in the world right now, come up to face Mercedes for an absolute banger 5-star match, lose, and then have Jamie Hayter, who has been off TV and not performing at her best, win. That just doesn't add up to me. And I know we got to talk about Dynamite itself, but like,
I think that's what my issue is. It's important to talk about, and I think it's just like we at the point of, like, even like I see the comment.
Jalen.
I see the comment.
Yes, Jalen. This is not Jamie's fault, but they should have never picked up right where they left off.
And I think also too, you still haven't really even addressed, because the point of this, right, is supposed to be Jamie's revenge story. We still haven't even addressed their history. We ain't seen a video package or nothing like that. Like, they have barely talked about on commentary. And like, that's what I keep trying to get people to understand, of just, yes, we get it that you person who's been watching since 2022 or 2019 or whatever. We get it. You love Jamie Hayter and you think she's great. I think she's great too. But guess what? A lot of people have started watching AEW like since then who might have started watching while she was injured.
And she
nothing,
came back on the pre-show.
She came back on the pre-show.
You know, that doesn't necessarily give superstar. When she left, she was a superstar.
Correct.
And then you bring her back on the pre-show, and it's an uphill battle for her ever since. And
we got 4 weeks until Double or Nothing.
We're not there.
And people don't even really know, like, you know, who she is and what she meant. Of just at this point, it would Jamie winning right now could never elevate anybody else because they haven't made her feel important enough. I'm gonna be honest. When Stat lost to Megan Bayne, it felt real. Like it felt like something because Megan Bayne has been presented as a superstar. So it made sense for Stat. Stat losing to Jamie Hayter last week did not feel like Stat was losing to a superstar.
Yep.
And it's not, like I said, none of this is against Jamie herself, but this is where the booking has led. And now you got stuff like she's coming out and the 2 biggest stars in the company are going to war and she comes out, no pop. And also too, and now we don't know what Willow Nightingale doing for All In, and we don't know what Chris Statlander doing, and we don't know what Megan Bayne doing, and we don't know what the top stars and the reigning top stars in the division. They have no direction. That's crazy.
Yep.
It's it's crazy, and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm trying not to be upset about it, but it's just like. It'd be one thing if like you were actively building other stories on screen of just like making stuff make sense. Like, you know, and like letting us know. And that's why I will say, like, when Mercedes won the TBS title at Double or Nothing, I feel like most of us were cool with it because they immediately established direction for Willow afterwards. We knew she was going into a very big time feud, big time opponent. Like, you know, it was very clear there was a plan for her afterwards. Right now, there's 0 plan for the other top women stars in the division. 0. And they can't challenge for any titles that already exist. There's no plan from now, the last day of April, to July 12th. There's a really good chance that Athena's only match All In weekend is going to be in that esports arena for Super Cardavon.
It's not. I won't let that happen. Dan, we going too far though. Ospreay getting choked out is okay if Mercedes. See, here's the thing though.
I'm fine with that, actually.
No. Stop. Because here's the thing. AEW makes niggas choose. We don't have to do that. We don't have to live like this. They got us surviving on crumbs and scraps. That sometimes we're like, well, I mean, if this is the only way that we can get this thing, and you know, maybe if we cross our T's and dot our I's and are really, really good girls and boys for Christmas, we'll get something. We don't have to live like this. It does not have to be either Ospreay gets choked out by Jon Moxley or Mercedes and Toni main event. We can live other ways. I promise you. Do not let these niggas lie to you.
In my mind, I felt like Swerve, Hangman, Mercedes, Athena, and Omega Okada was going to have a fight to the death to be the main event. And now it's like, bring your baddest bitch out. And then is Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada the only people who showed up for work?
Which is the funniest
Y'all got Okada showing up for work?
This is the funniest thing you can say in the world about Kazuchika Okada. Yeah, perfect attendance. 5-star student gives his best every day.
I'm not gonna lie. Okada is so funny because like his face today is completely different from the entire rest of his AEW run. Like he's like, yeah, guys, I'm clocked in actually from now until July. I go here again.
I literally said the same thing because when they were doing those introductions, I was like, well, first of all, it was just funny because I tweeted like that Kenny's music could wake me up from a coma, and I meant it because I was in the car. I was in the car in the garage and I heard the first note of Kenny's music and I opened my door and I was like, and my dad was like, how did you know? And I was like, me and Kenny are connected on a level, like wig to wig.
That
We
type of shit I'm on you
communicate.
wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't fucking get it. Kenny Omega, I love you. I love you. I love you. And then they brought Okada out there, and I straight up, I looked at him and I was like, oh, he's ready now. He's locked in. You're about to get Kazuchika
Bro,
Okada,
I
the
said,
one that
oh
everybody was
my
talking
God.
about.
He flipped the script on them. I said, them people wasn't even prepared for that, y'all. I love him, but I think also too, bro, it's just so deflating. And like, don't get me wrong, I see like Jayla, I agree. Omega Okada is enough to get me through in the door, but guess what? I think that people need to be very real with themselves. And I know it's hard, guys. Like, I know it's hard. It's so much easier to live in Delulu land when it comes to AEW because the roster is kind of like your own little jigsaw puzzle. It's so fun just putting people together and like just assuming that things are going to happen. But guess elite fans are not indicative of the entire fan base. I know that's hard to hear. It's hard for me to even say. What I mean by this, yes, for some of us, Okada Omega is enough to get us in the door. It always was. But that is a very specific portion of the fan base. And that part of the fan base is typically 9 times out of 10 also New Japan fans and like, stuff like that. That is not everybody.
And
you go
my
ahead.
bigger thing is, yes, so you have to convince other people. If that might move a great amount of your audience and a great amount of whatever, that's not going to be enough for everybody. 100% agree. My issue is, okay, so you run Omega Okada at All In, and then what? Because now you've played your biggest card. Now you've played the one thing that everybody was like, oh damn, when AEW do Omega Okada, like that's what you got to be there for. Now you've played that card. What else have you done? Now Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada are, I don't need to tell you how good these niggas are. They're gonna go off and they're gonna be a part of whatever they're a part of, and it's gonna be top tier, elite even. But it's not going to be Omega Okada. So you will have played your one golden ticket, I guess.
I think the same thing is true with Mercedes Toni. You are running 2 of your biggest matches in the arsenal just for Jon Moxley to win in the main event with a bulldog choke after 3 Death Riders run-ins. That shit, especially if I'm there, that's gonna make me crash out and go into a media scrum afterwards.
I swear to God, I was, well, I have so many thoughts about tonight, but I want to keep it concise. But I was watching this match, the main event. And let me say, well, I guess we're kind of talking out of order about all of it, but it's okay. Let me say, first off, Kyle Fletcher, I always knew you had it. I said years ago, you got the crazy eyes that the greats possess. I saw it in you, baby girl. That whatever the fuck you had going on in your back, ow, go get HPV tested. Also, side note, Kyle Fletcher, want to give you your props because you have quickly become one of the most important wrestlers in AEW. Right. That's for sure. Don Callis' family is too big. We got to cut some of these niggas. And Kinosuke Takeshita, we got to remind you that you're a single star in All Elite Wrestling. Everywhere else in the world seems to know that. My long-winded way of saying, Hangman Adam Page. You, my darling, my love, my princess, you just so different. That cowboy can always make you feel, whether it's good, bad, ugly. He will always make you feel.
This is gonna kill me. Double or Nothing, like, bro. I'm so tired of watching Hangman lose, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's really doing something to me. Like, I think, like, I've been a wrestling fan almost 20 years. This year makes year 19, truly. I think that I can't take too much more. I can't take this.
I don't think. I think that there is a. Tonight made me think that Hangman might win the Owen and lose to Mox. I had been of the belief that it was going to be Osprey because they don't have anything else set up for Osprey. And I was like, well, how stupid can AEW be to not have set up of an all-in feud for a guy like Osprey? But that was me not realizing just how fucking stupid AEW is.
I think we gotta stop using logic.
That can't be the case.
Like, y'all, I feel like we gotta stop using logic. This is not a logical company. Just like we were saying,
you gotta stop thinking about it in a way that makes sense.
Like the stat thing, like we were like, that made so much sense, which is exactly why it
doesn't matter. That we don't do that around here, okay?
I think
they go outside and they go,
and they know what they're doing. And you know how I know they know what they're doing? Is because after it's funny, but it's not funny at all. After Swerve lost at Dynasty, they sure did pull that ad that they was running around. That ad that was teasing Hangman and Swerve. People like, oh, what are you talking about? Fuck you. Now,
literally, could you guys imagine at this rate if they were just like, you know what? No Omega Okada, Anarchy in the Arena.
I think they're still going to do Anarchy in the Arena, though.
Huh?
I think they're still going to do Anarchy in the Arena.
I know, but could you imagine if at this point in the All-In build, they were like, matter of fact.
You know what, though? I would think that, but I think that the only thing that really saves Omega and Okada is because they don't have the world title right now. Like, I think that it feels like everything in the middle of All In, like this is how I view All In, right? I view All In like a big ass sandwich. And so I see one piece of bread is the men's world title match, and one piece of bread is the women's world title match. I feel like it's going to be a lot like Revolution. Everything in the middle is going to be good. That top bun is going to be really good. That bottom bun is going to be soggy as fuck. And this is where we are. I feel like the middle is fantastic. Like, I think that the mid-card match, I think the TNT title is actually going to do a little something. I think the tag titles are going to do a little something at All In. I think that because I think that it's going to be a lot of luchador influences and stuff like that. I think the trios titles are going to be doing something really cool with the ops and stuff. I genuinely, and then you're going to have like the unification match between Okada and Omega. I think the middle of All In is going to be really good, especially if they're able to they're able to like stretch out this MJF Bobby Lashley program in some way. But the women's world title match, I think the thing is, no matter which configuration of it, even if it is Mercedes Toni, in the short term, it's going to be a lot like Swerve and Danielson. The short term, the match is going to be excellent. Like the short term, what it does to the division long term, who knows? But the actual match is guaranteed to be excellent.
I don't disagree. I feel like we're being like, maybe a little bit harsh. Well, not harsh, but I think that we're speaking more generally on like the state of AEW and the build to All In than we are about this particular Dynamite. So I just want to make that distinction because I did enjoy this episode of Dynamite, but I think that this episode of Dynamite and the things that I enjoyed about it just reminded me why I was so frustrated about everything else in the build to All In. So I don't know. I just wanted to make that distinction.
Correct.
I came on here and I was like, I fucked with Dynamite heavy. That 8-man did it for me.
I said this.
It did it for me.
I said this to open up the show, like of just AEW is doing phenomenal television right now. And I think that's where the frustration, because we'll be having all these phenomenal TVs. You'd be so excited. Like the build to Dynasty, right, was crazy. The build to Dynasty was awesome. We had Willow saving the world.
Just don't buy the pay-per-view.
Willow tearing up. It was awesome.
Just don't buy the pay-per-view. Everybody go and get the stream for the 2 matches that you need to see. Because you saw the good shit in the build to the pay-per-view.
Then the pay-per-view happened. I said, oh my God. said, is this the same company? I can't go through that again. Not for $50. I don't pay fully $50 anyway. But
I give them money every time. I
do pay for it. I just pay the international price.
I give them $50 every pay-per-view. You want to know why?
How did you not like crash out after Dynasty? Wait, you buy the last pay-per-view? You pay $50 for like since World's End?
Yes. Which is why, but I do it because maybe it's just like it's not like a matter of moral principle. To me, it's reflection of the enjoyment of the product because I view it as okay. I really, really enjoy AEW. Did they just give me $50 fucking worth of a show? And that to me, when I do like reviews and stuff, I keep that in mind because like everybody's a regular person working a regular job. Like $50 is a lot of money to spend on entertainment and enjoyment of something that you're not physically present for. So keeping that in mind, like it's not just a random like, oh, okay, this was a bad episode of Dynamite or oh, this was a shit collision. It's I just gave you $50 fucking dollars. Do not bring John Moxley out here to talk his fucking riddles and to tap out fucking Hangman Adam Page. I swear to God, 50 my own money. I went to work. I worked hard for it. I waited 2 weeks. They said, Danielle, here's this little itsy bitsy amount of money. And I said, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I really enjoyed professional wrestling. I'm going to give all elite wrestling and Tony Khan and his billionaire bitch ass friends $50 so that I can see my favorite wrestlers. Wow, I sure hope Hangman wins. And then you crush my spirit time after time, and I paid you to do it. At some point, it's a humiliation ritual.
I think also too. Yeah, bro. I think
Truly,
that's what it feels like. I think especially after like leading up to Dynasty, like it felt like they all but told us like Hangman versus Swerve was gonna be like the match, and I'm like,
we did not make that up.
We didn't make that up.
Make that up. They love to gaslight us.
Like, and then
literally the whole year that Kenny was gone, every 3 weeks they'd be like, "You guys remember Kenny Omega?" Because we sure do, and we'd be like, "Wait, does that mean something?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, it sure does," and it meant not fucking shit, not a video message, not whatever, nothing for a year. They love to lie to us. They imply that someone is coming and they are not yet here. It's, oh, who's going to be this big mystery person? Who's going to be this whatever? And you know what niggas are thinking. You're just as chronically online as all of us motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
You saw what niggas was saying about Swerve Hangman and you said, yep, got him right where we want him. Take it back.
Yeah, bro.
Take it back.
Bruh, these I think I will say somebody just said this. TK knows he has to just tease it and the hardcore fans will never leave. And I think that that's just so fucked up of just like if you know that the match will sell and you don't run it, that means that the reason why you're not running it is probably at that point is if you scared of them people, just say that. Like if you scared,
I think that is like a greater point because I think that ties into the same thing that we're saying about All In regards to Omega Okada. Like, if you tell people that that's gonna happen, then the people who tune in week to week and have been clocked in and were watching New Japan before AEW existed, they're not going to leave. So you take for granted that audience because you're like, well, of course they're going to buy tickets. So they're going to be there and they're going to watch that. So that counts. And so then you never have to worry about whether the rest of it is shit. So it's the same principle with the Swerve Hangman thing. It's like, all right, well, if we can convince people that it might happen, that will be enough for a lot of people to spend their hard-earned money on this, to get emotionally invested on this, because we know this one thing fucking hits, and the rest of it can be shit. I don't know how many people work there, but I know it's too goddamn many for nobody to have looked up how long it takes to climb Mount Everest. Are we still doing this shit? If John, I swear to God,
I swear to God, if it comes down to it, that we were actually genuinely waiting for Darby fucking Allin to climb Mount Everest and back in order for our world title scene to make a goddamn move, I'm gonna go yank that bitch down from
I'm not gonna lie.
myself.
I'm not even gonna hold you. If
Watch him lose.
If Mox retains it All In, y'all not gonna see me again until the Continental Classic.
If Mox retains it, could you imagine?
Because, and that's also why I feel like they're doing it. Same kind of thing with the men's and women's pictures. I feel like they're gonna go with like the storyline with the least amount of story. Like, how about to say it? They're gonna go
of all things to pick.
Yeah, they're gonna go with the people with the least amount of story that makes sense to win. Like, I feel like maybe that's why they put Jamie versus Mercedes and Ospreay versus Mox, because
we gotta make them think, lyric.
They gonna lose. So they like, you know what? And they actually think they're doing us a favor. They said, do you want Hangman to lose at All In, or would you rather him just lose at Double or Nothing? Do you want Stat to lose again, or do you just rather her?
That's why I say, don't let these evil people gaslight you. It does not have to be lose or lose. God damn it, we can fucking win.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is crazy.
They gaslight the fuck out of people and just like, yeah.
Do you want it now or later? Do you want this ass whooping now or later?
They said I'm trying to be
why I gotta get whooped?
I know they your faves, but they're not winning. They're not winning.
So just pick one.
It just, I don't know, man.
They'll frame it like, do you want him to lose or do you want him to get embarrassed? Those are your only two options. Do you want him to get beat?
And they've made it to the point to where I genuinely believe that I think that this is not going to do Ospreay any favors. Of just
none of this. That's the thing too. Like they're so stupid. They're really
and also
stupid.
The way that y'all, and I love Will Ospreay, but I also know Will Ospreay. I know him enough to where he knows how fans feel about this Death Rider stuff, and he's gonna make it his mission to try to be the superhero of a lifetime. It's gonna backfire considerably. His worst instinct plus 2025 John Moxley's worst instincts might end up being one of the worst matches of all time.
Worst. Okay, I don't agree with that.
I know. I think that I'm gonna stand on that, man.
I don't think that. I think that Will Ospreay, actually, believe it or not, I see him in a similar. How do I explain this? It doesn't make any sense for him to win this. So if he does, it will be an uphill battle for him later, if that makes sense. Versus like if Hangman wins, and then Hangman beats Mox, all of that makes sense. We've been building to that. Ospreay has been living in his own little world with the Don Callis family, and we would have to make up a lot of ground very quickly to build that feud. And I think it would suffer as a consequence, and then you run the risk of people turning on Ospreay because of a rushed feud that with the wonky result. Now, I do think that at the end of the day, right, like at the end of the day, I guess in the same way that I trust Will Ospreay. I do. Maybe I wouldn't have a couple years ago, but I do. I don't trust Jon Moxley. I don't trust Death Rider Jon Moxley.
I wish that I felt differently, because here's the thing. What Mox versus Ospreay's first match was an excellent match. The match that they had at Windy City Riot a few years ago, absolutely excellent. That is not the Jon Moxley that's going to come to Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. And I also think that TV Will Ospreay is going to try to overcompensate for that. And I'm gonna be honest, watching Will Ospreay at the peak of his career pass out to a bulldog choke and Marina Shafir with a briefcase, that's really gonna make me mad.
You gonna have to take me out back and do me like they do the fucking race horses. What the heck? I swear to
What the
God.
hell? What the heliante?
What
What
the
the
hell?
hell?
But yeah. Look. I, but I also think that it's a disservice to Ospreay, right? Because I think that he has been, he has been subtly or unsubtly kept away from the world title scene for a while now. And in a meaningful way. Like there haven't been many times in the past few months where you've been like, I think Will Ospreay is going to be the world champion. Even though when he first came in and when he first signed, you and I were talking about on this show, we were like, they got to figure out what to do with him to keep him independent of the world title, because he's going to be somebody that whenever things are shit, you're like, why don't you just put the belt on Ospreay? Now, Ospreay's first world title win in AEW deserves to be a bigger deal than what it's going to be if it happens in this situation. Because the Death Riders are bad. I want Will Ospreay to win the world title in a feud that's good. I want him to win the world title in a build that makes sense. I want him to have an all-in match that is a certified hit. I think that he deserves that. And I so Ospreay, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they wrote themselves into an absolute fucking corner because everybody, like I said, Hangman, I'm with you, girl, to the end of the motherfucking line. Call me Bucky Barnes. Me and Hangman go together bad.
That was good. That was good. I like that.
Thank you. I meant it from my heart. We go together bad. Hangman needs to win this. I don't believe in AEW, so I don't think that he will. If Will Ospreay beats Hangman, then Ospreay now finds himself in a position where he's been tied up in Don Callis shit for the past year. Doesn't make any fucking sense. If either one of those men loses to Jon Moxley, I don't want to talk about the person that I'm going to become. If either one of them, it needs to be Hangman that is in that. It needs to be Hangman that is in that match. But if for some reason it is Will Ospreay, either one of them losing will have me standing in oncoming traffic with a construction vest on and a sign that says "Kill me here."
Because we've gotten to the point that by the time we get to West Wrestle Dream, you mean to tell me that Mox beat Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page, and Will Ospreay, but Darby Allin is the savior? And this is no offense to Darby. Shout out to Darby, man, and everything he's done for AEW. But with all the time away that he's been away and everything, you mean to tell me that Darby at Wrestle Dream, I don't think that it's going to have the effect that people think. Because I'm gonna be real. If the audience hasn't woke up, now they're gonna wake up by All In if Mox retains. I think that you're gonna risk losing a large section of the audience. You're gonna lose a lot of people.
Me and Lyric do a goddamn pre-show to their A show every single fucking week. I will hate you. I will hate All Elite Wrestling if you make me watch either one of those top tier performers at the height of their game lose to fucking Jon Moxley in his 4th world title reign, terrorizing the company and his plain white tee. We are as elite as fans can be without the goddamn graphics. And you people,
I guarantee you, we are at minimum taking the rest of July off. At minimum, I think we should just take the rest of July off.
I will do an Omega Okada review show independently.
Correct. We will do it as separate episode. It's going to be called Anybody But Y'all In. Anybody But Y'all In. And we'd have to go on hiatus. And I think all the people who
God damn it, if I buy a ticket, that I have been on the fence so bad because there is a part of me that there is a large part of me that is like, I need to see Omega Okada, and if they're gonna run that shit, I gotta be in the fucking building. And I that is enough to move me to purchase a ticket. What will absolutely ruin my experience is if I sit there all fucking night. I bought a plane ticket. I flew on a plane for 3 hours.
Paid for a hotel.
Here.
And imagine if you came for a whole week. And use your PTO.
Ubers. I paid for food. I took goddamn PTO to be in July in Texas in the middle of bumfuck July.
Bro, I think I'm so sick because here's the thing. All the people, I'm going to say this too. This is something really important. And I want y'all to hear me very loud and clear. All of you people on the internet talking about oh, well, I just want it to happen because I think it'd be funny. I think I like the internet conversation discourse. Y'all don't go to shows in real life. I never see you. We never heard of you. Went to your neighborhood. They said they didn't.
They don't know you.
They don't know you. Y'all don't go to shows for real. You don't actually invest, and you laugh at people that actually do devote their time, money, and resources to this wrestling shit. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of us are literally booking flights because we do genuinely believe in what this company can do. Yeah. And we genuinely believe in the matches, and we genuinely believe in the talent. Y'all be sitting at the house watching watch wrestling.ch and talking about, so I just think it'll be so funny.
That's not even what I use, though. That ain't even mine.
I know. Pro tip, that's for beginners. I'm just saying at the same time,
I have a point, and that is, Lyric, I don't disagree with you. That's a good take. I will say, I will be the absolute fucking first to admit that when Cody lost to Roman, I was cracked the fuck.
Oh, it was the greatest night ever, bro. Y'all, that was hilarious.
I was geeked. This was the funniest shit to ever happen to me because that was happening to y'all over there. I got nothing to do with me, and I found it laughable. That's different.
Hangman Page, but here's the thing.
I feel like
Hangman Page is better than Cody Rhodes, so I was
gonna say that's different though because Hangman Page. Oh, I was gonna say something real controversial. The underlying point being yes, Hangman Page is good at his job, and Cody Rhodes works for WWE, so
there's nothing I can do for him now.
There's nothing I can do for him before. He couldn't do shit for himself. But you know what?
Him.
You know what? I have to admit, I was during when I first got into AEW, I was a huge fan, not of Cody Rhodes, but of that goddamn reality show. I watched every fucking minute of that reality. I was sat like,
you know what though? I also think the difference between WrestleMania 39 and this too is just like, how do I say this? Even though a lot of people were upset. Oh, well, yes, a lot of people were upset that Cody lost, but guess what? Roman still got shooters for real. Like Roman had like a dedicated fan base and stuff. Like he got shooters for real. I'm gonna be honest. Hangman is bringing all the shooters. Ospreay got all the shooters. Mox, all these 12 We Love Mox accounts on Twitter. It is not a lot of them. They gonna get ate up in the stadium. They get ate up at the live shows half the time already.
One gorilla, 8 niggas. That's the situation that we're in. Do you feel good about that? AEW, do you feel good about that?
Y'all, I just feel like, do y'all really get it? And then I'll be real. I can't imagine walking in a media scrum after that. Huh? It come with a bulldog choke. Fun's over. Loser.
Lyric, do you have any questions? No.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want about me on the internet that day. Lyric, you didn't
Dani, you
ask
got any
anything.
questions?
No.
How dare you?
Like, y'all.
Will I be getting reimbursed?
I've had it. Like, I've genuinely had it because some of you are really trying to talk. I think we've lost the plot. AEW is supposed to be where the best wrestle. Y'all saw that opening match? Y'all saw that closing match today? Good matches. You have people actively on the internet trying to convince each other that bad main events are on purpose. That's
God. Which
that's
is by far the funniest defense you could ever say. That was awful on purpose. I promise you, nobody is ever trying to show their whole ass, have their whole butt cheeks out to the world about how bad they are on purpose. That's not the case. And you know what? Here's the thing, right? Like AEW, that's what's so frustrating about AEW. It's like your cousin that you pick up from rehab several times, and you're like, I love you. I've always loved you.
Y'all, bro.
Okay, I believe in you, and I every time I want you to get better. Every time, you say you're gonna do this and you're gonna do this for yourself, and we're all gonna improve and cheer you on. And then I just have to keep picking you up from rehab, and it's okay because I'll still love you and I will still support you. But it can weigh on you. It can weigh on you.
It's unfortunate, man. It's just really unfortunate, and it's like I feel like my excitement levels are keep going up and down. Like I'm excited to go. I'm excited to see people. Like I'm excited for the social aspect of it. But like if we're being realistic, like I feel like all we have is hope. Because I'm gonna be honest, the reality based off of I knew that they was wild when they let that revolution in like that, but when they ran it back for Dynasty, when they sacrificed Swerve too, I said, "Oh, they don't give a fuck." They said they will burn the entire men's roster down at this point if it means getting this. They don't even care if people like the Death Riders or not. They don't care if this go. They don't care if it affects the ticket sales. They don't care if they don't get enough people in the building. They don't care about none of it. They are committed to that narrative no matter what. And it's just like, oh.
Great. You know what? Someone asked a great question. Do you think that they think they're being camped?
Yes.
Do you think that they're being like
correct?
They're like,
oh, it's great.
In a way that you guys don't get it yet. Like the vision is too great. Like you're just not
I saw
there.
somebody have a tweet today. It was just like, guys, everything's fine, okay? Hangman versus Mox is going to be the match, and AEW is going to get the 30K by Double or Nothing once they announce it and stuff. So like, y'all, what has this company done to like demonstrate that they care? I will say they've given. I
want to say is that they don't really care.
They haven't given us any reason to believe that they will actually do anything sensible. Like they've given us no reason.
Rate, what they keep insinuating to us is that MJF is going to cost Hangman that match, which will also make me crash out to levels hitherto unseen. Because what the fuck is a scarf doing here?
And my thing is also why put Hangman in the Owen at that point? Like they could have just continued the MJF Hangman feud of just like why are we doing all of this? Like genuinely, what is all of this for? Of just
sometimes it's fun to psychologically manipulate and upset a fan base on a deep, profound level. And I feel like we're not taking into account that it just might be fun for them. They might just be sitting there like, yeah.
Bro, they treat
And then we'll
Hangman like
lie to him.
they treat Hangman like he one of their little Sims characters.
No, literally. Like, yeah, make him have 15 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. Yep, just for fun.
No,
Yep.
they don't care. And they said, this Osprey nigga, he always happy to be at work. He don't care.
He's fine. Just put him on the plane. They'll figure it out.
They said all we gotta do is just book him in any
They-
match. He's like, thanks, bro.
They gave that motherfucker a blank contract and a plane ticket and said, well,
They gave him.
he don't know.
They gave him more money than he knew what to do with, and a plate from Nando's and said, "This is your pay."
Just don't ask any questions. They paid that bitch in cash, and he do whatever they need him to do now.
Bro, he be so happy to be at work that
I'm like, how much?
They could book him. If you told Osprey he was wrestling SpongeBob at All In, he'd be like, "So honored, bro. I love this, bro. Yes, we got a pineapple under the seat, bro. Yeah.
This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me."
Oh,
come on, lads.
Come on, lads. Come on, we're gonna go to the fucking
I swear to God, they got that nigga a death row contract. He's not going nowhere, and they paid that bitch in cash. He'll be wherever they need him to be. Wherever they need him to be.
Osprey is getting paid in euros and video games, and them boys Swerve too. I'm gonna be honest, he's a part of this conversation too, because I'm not gonna lie. They about to throw these niggas in the trash in a tag match and be like, yeah, you want this? The Young Bucks? Yeah, y'all love this. It's gonna be awesome. Y'all love this.
You like these guys, right?
You love this feud so much. They said y'all like them so much.
Love this.
The best that I can do for you is a non-title tag match at All In. They have no direction after it, so don't ask. I don't have anything for you. Y'all want your favorite on the card? They're all gonna lose. It does come with a bulldog trope.
It's like texting a guy that you know doesn't like you. It's like, what, well, maybe we could hang out tomorrow. Nah, I'm busy tomorrow. Okay, what about Sunday? I don't know. I have to see. Well, we could go get some food or something. I already ate. Like, damn, Nikki, you hate me? Just say you hate me. Like,
you hate me. I think it's and then people try to gaslight you on the internet talking about so you're not gonna like the tag match. We're gonna love the tag match actually. And then guess what? After the tag match, All In is gonna be over, and everybody's gonna look around. They're gonna be like, Mox has no legitimate.
How did we get here? There's shit going on because you dumb fucks don't see the vision. You don't think at least one step after when you move your foot to the left. You gotta lock in for me.
They're gonna be like, and why is they're gonna say like, there's no babyface challengers for the world title.
Literally, why am I in a toxic relationship with a wrestling promotion? These niggas keep having me come back because they'll give you just enough that you're like, it's probably not better outside.
I saw that, bro. Oh man, Kenny started looking at Okada in his eyes. I said, fuck! They got me!
I was sitting at my desk at work today and I was like, am I all in? Like, do I buy the fucking ticket? And then I watched the first couple minutes. They brought Kenny Omega out in this bitch. I heard the coin flip. I was like, how can I not be there? And then I remembered. It's like, you know what? I had a friend one time. She was dating this guy, and then they broke up. It was like a weird situationship type beat. And then it was Valentine's Day. And my friend texted in the group chat, and she was like, "Oh man, like I'm really sad this Valentine's Day. Like, I wish somebody brought me flowers like for this Valentine's." And one of my other friends said, "I mean, did you get flowers when you were with that guy?" And it was the gag of the century. Because no. So you sitting there and you watching AEW and you're like, wow, I really do value what they do give us. Okay, but remember everything else. Do not be dissuaded.
Yeah, y'all, I don't know. And I think it's just so bad. Like,
Karen!
we're gonna get to the point too of just. I'm actually very interested to see how they explore this, because Okada and Omega, based off of like the little snippets that we got to see in like that that 8-man tag tonight, they clearly locked in. That unification
Clocked in.
So, like, imagine that unification match goes as great as we believe it's gonna go, and then that's not the main event, and
then we watch Hangman get tapped out.
No, they're gonna at least let him pass out. They're not gonna make him tap. They're gonna make him pass out.
No, they're not. He's gonna tap. Dead center of the ring,
bro. And the thing is, it's gonna be so nasty, because if Hangman actually wins the Owen, they're gonna do it big. They're going to bring his old theme music back. He's going to start wearing the pink shirts again, and they're going to
do Parton and his butterfly ass jeans.
He's going to do media everywhere, and with his belt buckles and his boots. And it's going to be so awesome, and all the girls are going to be like, ah! And everybody, we're all the Hangman merch, and they're going to do a 1 hour tea on Fridays, like they be doing, selling the t-shirts, and it's gonna be awesome. That nigga gonna pass out in a 3.5 star anti-classic to a bulldog choke, and my entire faith in wrestling is gonna be terrible.
And then me and all of my friends who flew all the way out there are going to find the tallest hotel.
I'm gonna start a fight.
We're gonna find the tallest hotel that we can find, and we're gonna do our best Darby Allin impression. And that.
Hey, Toni, do you know you have 30 minutes? 30. Do you know you have 30 minutes?
30.
Actually,
look up.
Texas not too far from Louisiana. In fact, I'm going to find a witch.
You know what? Lyric, we should get like tarot cards before all it. So no predictions. Not our own predictions.
Can you imagine if we did tarot card readings outside of the building? Black girl tarot reading. Black girl wrestling tarot.
My witchcraft.
Actually, no. I'm going to Louisiana. I'm going to find me the baddest Creole witch I can find. And when I say I'm going to have her concoct the nastiest hex that you ever thought of.
We're putting a hex on you bad.
Oh, I mean, because at this point, I got to start checking all my boxes. We got to, y'all.
I'm talking real Salem witch trials type shit.
Absolutely. We're not playing with you no more. Y'all, I can't. I know we got severely off topic, but here's the thing. The girls are really excited for All In. And I think especially after going to Vegas, I really do want to go to All In Weekend because I want to have a good time and do it honestly with my brand of wrestling that I like watch most frequently. Like, it would be nice to actually go to the stadium show, have a desire to go to a stadium show on a week like that. And so, man. Well, we'll work on it. I got to learn how to read tarot cards. Anyway, what else happened? The 8-man tag was phenomenal. I know we talked about that. But I would also like to say, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, they hate you because they ain't you. My glorious, beautiful, amazing EVPs who have never done anything wrong, those good Christian boys. Wow. They are. How y'all had 2 classics on 2 back-to-back weeks just like that? How you gonna do that?
Eminem on the first album.
Like, the Bucks are comfortably on tag team of the year status, and they not even really all the way geeked out yet. Like, it's kind of scary.
That might be a little bit. It's a 2 AEW match, but I don't disagree with you.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm ready to call it.
on.
I'm ready to call it. Plus the ones that they had in New Japan. Quality.
It is April.
Yeah. And here's the thing:
You're
they
funny.
locked it up last year. Honestly, I feel like some people you can lock it down with like 2-3 matches. Like for example, Kenny's still a wrestler of the year contender. He's barely wrestled. Just when he does,
I completely spaced. I don't know what you said.
No, I said that Kenny is still a wrestler of the year contender. He's barely wrestled.
Yes,
he just made it count. He did.
Kenny Omega. You know what? I'm gonna do like maybe I'll do like a ranking of like white guy, Black Girl Wrestling's white guy endorsed, white man of the century. Kenny Omega.
Hangman, everybody else. Well, maybe
That's
Ospreay.
it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, Ospreay's not. He's cool or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Kenny, Hangman, and then everybody else is my glorious for me. My glorious EVPs are like right underneath.
Top 5 white men go. Just overall, they don't have to be wrestlers. 5 white men you respect.
Tony Goldwyn.
Great answer. Answer.
Tony Goldwyn. James McAvoy.
Okay.
Sebastian Stan.
Oh, absolutely.
Who else? Mac Miller.
Okay.
I have one more. Who else would it be? Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Interesting. You know what? He's yeah. Is he married to that black girl?
He might. Is he?
They have a kid. I know that.
He like.
He has a biracial child. I know that.
Hold on.
Right? I didn't make that. I'm pretty sure.
Henny for Benny. Oh, she's white. Never mind. You got the wrong person.
Who am I thinking of? Oh no, I'm thinking of Oh, dude, sorry, not the guy who plays Loki, Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry, I mixed up Marvel stars.
Wow.
My 5 white men I respect. I am gonna put Hangman up there.
You talking about? I didn't know we could use wrestlers. If
I said anyone.
Oh, if we could use wrestlers, of course. Hangman and Kenny are on my list. Duh.
Hangman's going up there. Kenny, I'm not. I have to hold out on because I need to know who else is gonna fill the spots. So Hangman for sure, because you talk about a business stander. And I appreciate that. I really don't respect a lot of. Well, I shouldn't say that, but the lead actor of hit 911 TV show on ABC, Oliver Stark. That's a he's British, so that gives him points with me. See, I feel like 5 white men that I like is different from 5 white men I respect. I don't know if I can get to 5 on the second question. Like,
oh, they're not interchangeable?
No. That's it.
Oh, you don't respect them either? I respect that, actually. I respect that.
No, it's not interchangeable.
I respect that.
Anyway, I'll have to think of my other 3 guys.
Tony Goldwyn.
I can't think of 5.
Tony Goldwyn he just snatched number 1. I couldn't even help it. Like, he just.
What a man. And he always in the right place at the right time. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's almost midnight.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see some all appreciation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'll tell you what right now. If Bobby Nash is really dead on 911 and Jon Moxley is still world champion at All In, they don't have enough medication to put me on.
for me to function as a
They gonna
normal
put you
member
on
of
Hangman
society.
meds.
They gonna
you
put me on
you
them
know-
goddamn Hangman meds.
And you know they don't work. He done told y'all his medicine don't work.
Shit,
Man,
that's why then I guess
what-
arson is the next step.
I'm trying to think what we didn't talk about. Oh, Miyu Yamashita wrestled tonight. I think she had a really good showing from TJPW.
Agreed.
I hope they sign her. I think like this is the first time I feel like her American presentation has made sense. I really liked it. I think Toni Storm, I'm really glad that she's a wrestler. She's a real wrestler. Toni Storm is an actual real total package wrestler. Like she's been great. Like I have no complaints about Toni, and I think that's the difference with Mox. Like don't get me wrong, I do want her to lose the title because I think it's time for somebody else to actually hold it. Just because she's held it 4 times. But what I do appreciate about Toni, she's made this 4th run count. Like she's really made it count, and I have nothing but respect for her. I think like she's genuinely like earlier this week when Miyu Iwatani lost the IWGP Women's Championship and Surrey won, and I was thinking about like if a foreigner, like the bar has been so high. I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely don't think a lot of most foreigners are worthy to hold that belt. Maybe the New Japan Strong belt, but the only 2 foreigners that I could ever see holding the IWGP Women's belt, and I hope they hold it at one point, is Athena and Toni. Like I think like they are. I do believe that that is the Living Legends title, and I genuinely hope they hold it one day. Just because, yeah, like Toni. It has been fantastic. I loved all the stuff seeing her at like TCM Classic Film Festival. She's incredible. Like
she's great.
I take nothing from her. I think
Mercedes is on a character work run of a lifetime.
Yes, I think Mercedes is incredible. I think that everybody is incredible, and I think that's the problem that I'm having with the women's division. I just want to see more of it. You know, like I think that's the thing. It feels like you said, I feel like AEW backs you into these corners and it feels like you can only have one thing, but it shouldn't be like that. Like we should be able to enjoy all of these women top stars at the same time. You know, like I should be able to have Mercedes and Toni and Megan Bain and Stat and Willow on one show. That shouldn't be a foreign concept, you know, like it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be asking for too much. And so, and Athena and Billy and all these people, you know, yeah. So, but also speaking of Stardom, if you haven't watched All-Star Grand Queendom, you have to watch it. Like seriously, show of the year, one of the most perfect wrestling shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Very emotional retirement at the end. Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamatani. One of the instant match to the year candidate, Miyu versus Shuri. I need to see Athena versus Shuri. Yeah. Mako Satomura's retirement show was really good. New Japan has Wrestling Dontaku around the corner. There's a lot going on. Lots of fun stuff going on. And I think that's why I get so frustrated with AEW feeling like they can only show us 2 women at a time. Of just, we know what y'all got back there. I know what you got behind the bar and telling me you ain't got no liquor.
Go get them.
Y'all telling me y'all ain't got no Hennessy behind the bar and I can see it. I can see the bottle.
Sell it to me. I'll buy it.
I can see it. You're telling me, oh, we out. Oh, we out. The best I can do for you is Everclear. Ah!
If somebody said that to me, I don't drink dark liquor anyway.
Imagine saying, hey, I see Willow and Stat back there. Can I get them on the card too? No.
I'll pay for it.
You're getting Taylor Port.
I want to pay for it.
Who is that in the back? What else happened? Nick Wayne and Jay Lethal. I'm just happy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about that match at all, but I am just really happy. Nick Wayne is doing Best of the Super Juniors next week, so that's
100% agree. That was the point.
That's all that matters. I actually don't know how to feel about Samoa Joe versus Mox. I've had to honestly block it out because Bro, Samoa Joe tapping out to a bulldog choke, it might hurt me worse than all the other shit. And if that's next week, I don't know how I'm going to handle July.
Oh, God. This is going to get worse.
It's going from worse to worse, sir. Yo, Samoa Joe, anybody but him. Anybody but him. That's the last person I want to see fall victim to this. And y'all doing it in a steel cage to keep everybody out. Marina Shafir is going to walk in that bitch at least twice.
Why was she out of uniform? Everybody else today had on the same white t-shirt and blue jeans. Why are you special? Anyway, sorry. But I just had a thought that I'm like, at this point, if you're gonna kill all the baby faces, there's one that has been involved in this storyline just a little bit, made a couple saves.
Oh, Willow?
No.
Oh, Swerve?
No, who came out in support of Swerve last week or 2 weeks ago? The god of pro wrestling himself.
Oh.
Lyric.
I'm here's the thing. I hear you, but I'm gonna be real. When it comes to this Death Rider shit, I don't even like saying Kenny name around it because I believe that Tony Khan would sacrifice Kenny Omega to get this shit across. And so I'd rather him just not think about him. I don't want anybody even looking at him. I don't want nobody looking at him. Think about him. Because I ain't gonna lie. I let Kenny Omega have to lose to this Death Rider stuff. Eyes haven't seen. They gonna call me Chris LaGentle. They gonna call me. Yeah. I'm talking about. I'm getting real nasty. I'm getting PR nasty. I'm gonna pull out a press list. I'm writing fake press releases. I'm putting your letterhead on the paper. I'm telling everybody that Tony Khan resigned, effective immediately.
If for some reason Kenny Omega is fed to John Moxley, I am gonna get the company shut down. I'm going on a hate tour of a lifetime.
I want you to know.
And I'm dead the fuck serious. I'm gonna be on radio talking about.
I'm gonna make Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff look like Wild Wild Wubsy.
Light work.
I'm gonna make Busted Open Radio
Baby,
sound
that was
like
Teletubbies compared to me. AEW, you don't want to make an enemy of me.
I'm talking about bring your baddest bitch out.
Leave the goat. But Lyric, think about it though. That will be it. That will
that'll be it. I will say like
because they started by killing Brian, and it has been that will complete the set. That will truly be everybody that has been like involved in this storyline, and there is a non-zero chance that it happens. And in that case, I'm trying to censor myself because the internet is public and permanent. But if we have to go live.
Speaking of Brian, like Brian Danielson has been talking a lot lately. Brian Danielson, I'm gonna be honest. This is your mess. This is actually your mess. You come clean it up. This is all your mess. These are your friends. This is your legit. Fix it.
And you just left us here.
You left us here. I'm talking about them. You had the greatest match ever with I'm talking about with the worst side effects and said, well, that was fun. Be breezy.
I maintain, though, I do, that because people always like to go back to, I need to go to bed, it is midnight, but people always go back to the fact that Brian and Swerve should not have happened. It should have been Hangman and Swerve. Do I disagree with that? No. But do I think that it was worth it to give Brian that moment? Yes, I do. What I will say is we actually didn't have to be in this position. Even after that. Because, guys, Darby won that title shot. And then Jon Moxley said, give it to me.
Bro,
And
that
Darby
shit was
said,
fucked from the
why would
beginning.
I give it to you?
This stuff never made sense to start.
That was what I was trying to get niggas to understand. And that was when it first fucking started. And everybody was like, oh, just let it play out. Just let it play out. No, it don't make sense. And it got worse. Because
but
literally,
it's the benefit of the doubt. It goes back to the benefit of the doubt. People gave him the benefit of the doubt because people, one, Mox had such a high reputation, and I think he still does to a certain extent. It just looks different. Mox had such a high expectation, and we hadn't seen him in a while. And so when he came back, people thought like, "Oh wow, Mox took some time off. He must be energized now. This must be going somewhere." And so,
but we gotta be critical thinkers because
I agree.
It didn't make any fucking sense. Darby won that title shot fair and goddamn square, and then Mox said, "Well, Danielson's not going to be able to wrestle. Just put that title shot on the line against me." Who wrestled that same fucking night, Lyric? Who wrestled that same goddamn night?
Wrestled Nigel McGuinness. And listen, he wrestled before them. He wrestled and he opened the show.
This nigga is fine.
And he won.
Keep the goddamn title shot.
Oh my god.
Are you stupid?
Oh my god.
Are you fucking stupid? Why would you do that?
Bro, that's
and y'all niggas sat up here. I will never forget it, and I will never forgive you. Because everybody said, Danielle, trust the process. And I said, you got to keep in mind, the niggas who are writing the process, writing the story, are stupid.
And also,
we've seen it week in, week out. It didn't make any fucking sense from the jump. And then ever since then, we've been trying to rationalize and find reasons and be like, oh, okay, well, it could be because of this. It could be that we're waiting for this. Maybe we were waiting for Swerve Hangman. No. Maybe we were waiting to see Hangman win the Owen. Not going to happen. Well, maybe it's going to be Osprey that finally does it. They're not going to give that to you. It's going to be Darby, who it should have been a fucking year ago for no goddamn reason. What the fuck? It was the year of our lives. We won't get back.
There is no bright side, bro. None of this makes sense. And I think, and also too, even if everything goes perfectly, right? Like, let's say like everything goes perfectly, Hangman wins. You've given your fan base so much PTSD to where nobody wants to believe you can do anything good. Like, you've given your fan base the because even too, I don't even think about Double or Nothing. Even if Anarchy in the Arena is good, not gonna let us have a good night. That'd be the one time Anarchy in the Arena don't main event. It's gonna come with a bulldog choke. They gonna find a way to close this with Mox. They gonna find
one way or another. Somebody get choked the fuck out. That's all I know. Somebody's getting choked out. That's all I know. But no, Chloe, you're right. Because that's the thing. AEW does something that makes no fucking sense. And then we all sit here as reasonable people and we say, well, it must have been because they're gonna do this. Or if you did that, you can fix it by doing XYZ. And then these bitches sit there and do something that makes no goddamn sense.
You know what that's reminiscent of? AEW is treating their audience how WWE treats theirs. It just has better matches.
That's the difference is. Well, there are a lot of.
It's kind of like the Cena stuff, right? People are like, "Oh, this is going somewhere. This Cena turn is going somewhere."
Trust the process.
They said, "Yeah, he's gonna come in. He's gonna give us new entrance music. He's gonna give us a new look. He's gonna let the jorts go,
and then the Rock's gonna come out at WrestleMania,
and it's gonna be so awesome." Bro, that nigga gave you jorts and a black and white screen and said, "This is it."
Then had you bitches pay thousands of dollars to see Travis Scott.
Well, 2.5
to make the walk of a lifetime. That's it. AEW, if you make me spend $1,000 to be in the Texas heat in July on my paid time off to see Jon Moxley choke out Hangman Adam Page, you are no better than those people. You're doing
And
the
I'm
same
not
thing
gonna
that
lie.
they did.
And at
I'm
that
reporting
point,
the charge on my
I'm
card
not better
at
than
8
those people.
p.m.
And at that point, I'm not better than those people because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be mad as hell if I use my PTO on this and I only saw Beyonce once. I could have gone to see Beyonce again. And also, too,
I could have gone to the beach.
All In.
I could have been on the beach somewhere in mid-July.
All In is the weekend after Beyonce. I see Beyonce. Okay. And so I can't imagine going from that high to that like crushing low.
God.
This ain't Texas. Woo! Y'all, I don't know.
We are boo-boo to fuel.
And then the thing is,
we have
when two or more are gathered, that's church. It's one thing for us to argue on these screens, but I want you to know when I link up with the girls and when we catch you, when two or more are gathered, it's church. You're cooked.
The Lord is present. When two or more are gathered, the Lord is present. And you know what? Unfortunately for Tony Khan, we've got lots of things going on. We've got God on our side, the power of witchcraft.
And the ancestors. We're black.
And the ancestors. So I really don't see how this works out any other way besides the way we drew it up.
Yeah. And also, too, I'm going to be real.
In this economy, we need a goddamn win.
Stuff, I'm so serious. It really does need to go well. That's why I need y'all to do something with Jamie Hayter, because I really would hate to have to spin the block for Athena, but I will if I have to. And my sister needs to be on that card. I'm not playing. That is her home. That is her home. Are y'all crazy? And then you put, and I'm gonna be honest, Tony God, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna take it there. I think I'm gonna bring up that picture. You put all the black people out there for that All In picture. And so far, they don't got.
I'm gonna start spreading rumors. I'm gonna start spreading propaganda. I don't want to have to do that.
Like it.
I don't want to have to do that as much as you don't.
I don't want to start talking it like hashtag those people. I'm talking.
Hashtag all white wrestling.
I think it's just y'all. I don't want to have to do that. I hate getting strong with y'all, man. I hate getting strong with y'all.
That's what people don't understand. I feel like people look at us and they're like, "Oh, they always waiting to do some woke shit, some think pieces." Oh my god, I just want to giggle. But sometimes when you notice things,
we want to giggle. We want to giggle, twirl our hair, and put our Hangman t-shirts on. That's really it. I digress. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Because we're rambling. Also, I will say, the MJF Hurt Syndicate stuff is a laugh. It's a good giggle. But yeah, that's it for this week, folks.
It was fine.
That's all we got.
Oh God! Start the prayer circles now.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Maybe the new Pope will bless us.
I thought I could do this. I thought I could do this and be like, oh, I'm just gonna suck it up to All In. I can't do this. We gotta do this. We gotta do something. If any of you know
a woke Pope, if they pick a woke Pope, Hangman's winning it all. That's how we'll know. If the Pope is a conservative, then we lost.
I think we need an interfaith solution.
No. I'm just saying it's an indicator of the way that the world is swinging.
All the Muslims pray to your God. All the Jews,
it's the same God.
Well, everybody does it differently.
It's true. Yeah.
Muslims,
all hands on deck is the point.
Jews pray to your God. Christians pray to your God. Hindus, they have a God. They have multiple. Pray to your gods.
Yeah.
Buddhists meditate. Witches which
All hands
everybody-
on deck, and I mean it.
I need everybody. We need everybody, all the prayer warriors, bring them out to the floor. Get in the booth. I just can't see everybody go outside like this. Between the Cowboy, Willow, Stat, everybody, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't do it. And so we got to figure this out, man. Anyway, it's the end of April. Good month. We've been really consistent.
It's gonna be May.
We've
Guys,
done
it's
this
almost my
show
birthday.
every
It's not,
week.
but-
We've done this show every week since we came back. Like no skips. We've been
Really?
really consistent. No, seriously, we've been really consistent.
That surprises
week-
me.
Last week was actually our most viewed episode. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Do you want my kidney? You can share it.
Oh. Anyway, this show's been, you all have been really supportive. I really appreciate it. Dani really appreciates it.
I don't.
Are you still going to be gone for May?
I will be gone the last 2 weeks of May. But
okay, cool. I need to find replacements for those weeks. But
guys,
or maybe I'll just do it myself. Who knows?
Yeah. Guys, I will say, just please quickly. Oh my god, if you don't subscribe to Black Girl Wrestling on YouTube or on Spotify, you're fucking lame and your mom hates you. Please do. I'm trying to boost those things for reasons. But yeah, please do. If you want to pretend to support, you don't have to watch any of the things. Just just follow it. Thanks.
I think you guys should actually listen to it. But yeah, I really appreciate the support since we've gone independent. Yeah, it's been fun.
Guys.
It's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on this show. And I would like to keep having fun. That's why some got to change about this all-in card, because I ain't gonna lie, they killing the vibes. You're like, y'all scaring the hoes. Like,
consider the hoes scared.
But anyway, I digress. Where can people find you? Anything you want to plug?
Black Girl Wrestling. Black Girl Wrestling. Yeah. Thanks for that punch. Yeah.
You can find me.
I need this interview or I'll.
Hey man,
I don't know. There's a lot of things that are gonna send me to a facility, I guess.
We need Dani to get the Billy Ellen interview.
Yeah, add that to the witchcraft, everybody.
Yeah, we need her to get the Billy interview. Woo! Turn the wigs around, girl.
Lyric, where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at Lyric Wrestling, at Lyric Swinton on YouTube.
We gotta turn the wigs around.
Hey man, cool. You get it. I got some new shit coming out in PWI. It's a write-up on Windy City Riot. I need to record something for the podcast soon. Oh, I wrote a piece for Blavity last week about Mercedes being on the Renaissance tour. That was fun. If you haven't read that, please go read it. Yeah, I'm just trying
Thanks
to.
for the compliments, by the way. I will.
Yes, we love compliments.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. My goal this year was to get back to the output that I was doing last year before my life went to hell. And so I feel like I've done that and then some. And so, hey, hopefully I hope to have a really strong summer in wrestling. So fingers crossed. Wish you well.
You will.
Yes, thank you. But I'm delirious. I know Dani's sleepy. Thanks everybody.
I'm always sleepy.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Ciao, ciao.